I guess my Eureka moment was when I was traveling overseas, doing a gap year, backpacking around Europe trying to get work. I basically had 20 euros to my name and was told I could start work in a month. So you can appreciate that doesn't get you very far. So I went to the local coffee shop and basically said, look, our whole hostel of about 30 people come down here. We're all overqualified for the work. Why don't we all negotiate our own pay wage, but allow me to kind of pick and choose the shifts that I want so that I can keep traveling and make the most of that month. So I survived the month, and through that manual process, found that people need skill sets. Businesses need quick access to skill sets that can add value to their business. And I came back to Australia and found that no one was really allowing for that sort of speed and cost-effective way of doing it. So started a blog. Got about 300 uni students through putting up posters and hitting the streets with an iPad and basically trying to get businesses on board this thing that wasn't really anything going on. And if I got a job, I'd call 50 of my friends or 50 people I didn't even know as well and just go, hey, are you free for a bartending job on Saturday night? And just try and force it to happen. Once I kind of saw that traction working, basically found that it was definitely a concept that businesses were looking for, so went from there. I guess it's really bringing together the same sort of essence of a dating website where you're matching two requirements of two people. When it's a dating website, it's man looking for a man or woman or whatever the case, and it brings two people based together on their requirement. So for us, it's the same sort of basics. It's business needs candidate with who's a barista, who's got experience, has access to a vehicle, has tattoos because they're looking for a sort of hipster look that fits in with their culture, brand, and experience for customers. So it's really about bringing information and speed to the table for businesses to really access those things. In the recruitment industry, it's really evolved over the last decade, especially with the access, obviously, to people being a lot more mobile, a lot more job boards, I guess, popping up, LinkedIn. You've got things like Facebook and other social media tools, as well as, there's a recruiter on every block in Sydney, right? As well as every other block around Australia. And there's niche recruiters, there's high volume recruiters, there's labour hire, there's so many different variabilities there. And everybody's, USP is really about speed to getting the right candidate to the business as quickly as possible so that they can get their fee. And what's reducing more and more and more is that exclusivity to data or that candidate, so to speak. If a candidate's applying for a role, they don't just go through their trusted network, that one recruiter that they have that relationship with anymore. It's I'll apply on those 5 websites and I'll also go through those recruiters that I know. And so it's all about speed to market and getting that person there. So we've really taken that sort of USP from the market and collected as much data as we possibly can on candidates so that we can get them to the business as quickly as possible and as cheaply as possible so that they can make quick decisions and focus on their business rather than on when am I going to find that next barista. The way that we collect information allows us to really get a really good indication of the different skill sets, experience, what type of candidates we have. So for example, we collect random things that we might not use today, but we'll hopefully figure out what to do with them in the future. For example, we know that 36-year-old males in the Sydney CBD, a brunette is more likely to own a vehicle than a blonde 36-year-old male. And weird, quirky things like that allow us to kind of get an insight into our database. Since we sort of started the business, we were really focusing on one-off shifts in hospitality. You could kind of come in, get out, get your money and do what you got to do as a candidate. And the business really got that injection of skill sets that they needed at the time, ramp up, ramp down to really suit their needs. Since then, we've really watched our database and the information that we're collecting and seen that we've got all these hospitality people, but they're also really good in retail. Great as retail assistants, retail managers, great at serving food, talking to customers. And so repurposing those skill sets or that database of people or marketplace allows, I guess, for businesses to have a lot more availability and a lot more options through our site. So we've now developed into, retail, sales, marketing and events. So from graphic designers to sales reps to, people just handing out flyers, whatever you need, to cleaners, to you name it. We're constantly just watching what information we're collecting, and our marketplace is evolving to suit what our actual users use it for, which is quite an innovative way, because generally you kind of build a store and you sell your products and you can only go as far as your 4 walls. Whereas with technology and the data we're collecting, we're continually evolving with our algorithm and adapting to suit the needs of our customer base. From a data perspective, we have, I guess, people who query our database through SQL and just really kind of nut down to what the specifics are. With that, we have a lot of dashboards to give visibility to non-technical people on what's actually going on. So every sort of week, we're really looking at information that's presented and going, right, how can we get better visibility on this, benchmark it, and make sure that we're constantly improving, but also not just always looking at the standard KPIs. How do we always go, right, what else can we be looking at? What's changed? What new stuff's coming through? So we had an influx in 2013 of dental nurses, signing up to the marketplace. And you kind of go, why? So what can we do with that? So how can we get them jobs, and how can we evolve that? So it's constantly looking outside of your blinkers and trying to see what else we could be doing. And what we're doing today, we could be something very completely different tomorrow. From a trend point of view, I think that we're finding that from the younger generations really growing up on, I guess, a internet world, so to speak, or a collaborative world even. More and more people are really used to or comfortable with putting more and more information online. And I think that's allowing businesses to really innovate. And I think that's one of the joys as well of data. It's because you get to see so much, you don't know what's really around the corner. And it's really about finding those small nuggets of surprises, so to speak, so that you can really revolutionize your service to your customers. So I think we'll see a lot more great products coming out of it, because more and more visibility is available for businesses. And I think we'll also see a lot more of a mobile, not only workforce, but also mobile technologies that allow people to kind of have adaptable sort of product offerings to suit with what they're doing and where they're moving to.